Shalom and welcome to Myers Did Pharoh. This year is entitled Parsha Did Paro really lose his free will? So it's pretty well known. Hashem took away his free will. Actually, there's a machloket among the commentaries and a lot of ramifications. Rambam takes it literally. Rambam known to not always take certain things literally, certain midrashim and certain incidents in the Torah. Over here, he takes it literally. He says in Hilchot Shuvah, Paro lost his free will. There's Yisod, that fundamental point that a human being, not just a Jew, every human being has free will. He says, yeah, but a human being can go ahead, do certain things, and be punished. Punishment could be an olam hazeh, punishment could be an olam haba, punishment could be a loss of his free will. That's his punishment, and that's what happened to Paro. But if that's so, then there's an obvious question. Come to Paro, beginning of Bo, and tell him, you better let the Jews out, or else you will be subject to the punishment of Arbe, the plague of Arbe. Now, wait a second, that whole dialogue is a joke. According to Rambam, he lost his free will. So why is Moshe threatening? You better let them out, or else they're going to have Arbe. He can't let them out. It's not his choice. So Rambam says, you're right. It wasn't a real dialogue. It was a show. And the whole reason God did it was in order to show the world that once God controls someone, he's locked in. There's no way out. And therefore, according to the Rambam, he had no free will. And that discussion between Moshe and Paro was just to show the world what happens once God takes away the free will. Sforno, on the other hand, holds that he never lost his free will. He simply was given a numbing device, an anesthetic, to go ahead and just not feel the pain and the pressure from the plagues, to give in just because of that. Meaning that the average person would have such pain and pressure, just get out of here, just leave. And not because he holds it's a legitimate cause, but only because he just wants to avoid the pain. So God took away the pain. He made the pain manageable, so that way Paro can make a balanced decision. It turns out, according to Sforno, God gave Paro free will, because now he can make a real decision, not one just out of pain. So therefore, the Pesukim are fine in the beginning of Bo. He went ahead and Moshe spoke to Paro, listen, you're going to let them out or not? And Paro had a real choice. The third position is Rav Schwab. He says God took away his free will, like Rambam, like Rashi, but what was the request? Ad matai le'anta. In the beginning of Bo, the request was, until how long will you go ahead and be in this state of mind, Paro? And the Sforno says, the Onkelos says, what it means is, hachna. Well, how long will you be misarev, to be in a state of hachna'ah, to be subservient? So yes, right now, God might not let Paro let the Jews out, but it's Paro's choice whether to get off of his high horse, to get down from the tree or not. And if he does that, and he makes himself a bit more subservient to Moshe, to Aaron, and to God, then God might even let him let the Jews out. So that's a very interesting answer of Rav Schwab, that he took away the choice as of now to let the Jews out or not, but he could go ahead and lower himself from his arrogant position. That was his free choice. Rav Schwab finishes off and says eventually he did that. According to the Medrash Pirkei Rav Eliezer, that the king of Nineveh was Paro, so the pasuk openly says in Yonah that when the king heard about it, he got off of his throne and he took off his fancy royal clothing, he sat in Afer, in a state of mourning. So eventually he did get off the high horse, but it was a little bit late. Shalom.